UPMC Orthopaedic Care. When things don't move, rotate or bend like they used to, choose us to help you get back in action.
This is News Talk.
Welcome back to Thursday night's Off the Ball full live match commentary of Shamrock Rovers versus Santa Clara coming your way from 8 p.m. at Tallaght Stadium. The other huge night, or huge fixture tonight for Irish clubs is in the north at Windsor Park, where Linfield host Shelbourne. Let's go straight there because David Wilson, our reporter, is going to be watching from Windsor for the evening. Evening, David. Talk to us about what you're seeing there at Windsor Park. I mean, the atmosphere in Tulsa last week was absolutely sensational. Are we seeing it reciprocated by the home fans this week?
I guess say reciprocated by the home fans. They're still trickling in here. A lot of traffic on the way in. Belfast. There's also a concert going on tonight. Sam Fender just down the road at Baker Field. But the Shelbourne fans were here nice and early, and they're also nice and loud. They're in here maybe for an hour and 20 minutes for pick up, and they kind of brought the Riverside to Windsor Park.
Yeah, okay, we might just leave that line there. It's just inaudible. Heard Sam Fender, heard Windsor Park, heard plenty of traffic coming in, and obviously the traffic is affecting the network there. So let me get you up the Shelbourne starting team tonight. So Linfield playing host to Shelbourne. It's going to be Vessel Spiel in goals. James Norris starts alongside Paddy Barrett, Sam Bone and Sean Gannon. Along the back, it's midfield of Kerr McEnroy, Jonathan Lunny and Ali Coote, and then it's going to be Harry Wood, Mipawada Beko and Milan Mbeng in the starting 11 for Shell. So that one, remember, kicks off 15 minutes earlier than Shamrock Rovers. Cameron Hill, a very good evening to you.
Good evening, Owen. How are you?
Very well. What's your optimism levels for these two games tonight?
I think, I was hoping you were saying, what was your... what's your optimism for Belfast? And I could have gone through what songs I'd like Sam Fender to play. I think it's there, isn't it? I mean, they're in control. We were talking about it on NOI Late Night last week that are we counting our chickens here? Does it feel like everyone was talking about how great last Thursday was, and it was a great night for Irish football, but maybe slightly forgetting that there's a second leg to negotiate before that. But I think, like, you look at the team that Chelsea have named tonight, it's a team that will probably take full advantage of that much wider Windsor Park pitch. Like Shamrock Rovers are experienced campaigners at this stage. I was offered a ticket to tonight's game. I don't think there's too many going by the sense of things from what we've been seeing from Shamrock Rovers' media team. So there'll be really good atmospheres. I think that alone will be able to carry the two sides over. It would be great, like we saw earlier, and we'll get to it in the news around the Champions League phase draw, like to have two Irish teams also in that, and the prospective pots, like Shamrock Rovers would be right up there in terms of the pots. It could be pot 1 or pot 2 based on their performance last year. So that'll be very, very promising. It'll be a really exciting day on top of a couple of exciting days for Irish football in the last few weeks.
It will be amazing because you'll have this then every Thursday for a number of weeks, having two Irish clubs, and it was really exciting covering Shamrock Rovers last year and their European Odyssey all the way through to that Molde game. So to have double that every week would be absolutely sensational. You are going to start with Gaelic games this evening, though. There is some big news coming out of Cork.
Well, white smoke-ish, because it still has to be ratified, but Cork GAA confirming earlier today that Ben O'Connor will be put forward as the successor to Pat Ryan as manager of the senior hurlers. He'll replace Ryan, who decided not to extend his 3-year tenure, having led the county to this year's All-Ireland final as well as last year's All-Ireland final, let's not forget. While O'Connor managed the Cork under-20s and led them to All-Ireland success in 2023, where he won 3 Celtic Crosses as a player. His appointment is expected to be ratified at a county board meeting next Tuesday. Now, Pat Ryan was speaking to Red FM earlier this week, reflecting on his time in charge of the Rebels, and he explained what a new manager will mean for the players both in the panel and on the periphery.
The more you win, as I keep saying, the better the days are, and the thing. And look, we had plenty of really, really good days. And look, I suppose I always try to treat fellas with great respect. And look, I'd always be hoping that everyone that was inside our group was thought I was making decisions for what was best of all the players and for us and Cork to win, you know. And I think I did that. I suppose, looking, and from my point of view, it is, you know, there's plenty of players now we're going to get, you know, that maybe weren't on the team or weren't making the 26, or fellas who were playing with the club championship. A new fella in will have different ideas, and we'll look to do it for different things. And there's great opportunities there for other fellas now. And I've said that to lots of fellas that working maybe out of our panel or on starting on 15 over the last in the phone calls I've had with them over the last couple of days, and embrace that. Be ready to go and be ready to put the best foot forward, because a new man will be coming with fresh eyes, and they need to hit the ground running.
This is something that we saw with Mayo as well recently, that they make it very public that somebody's going to be recommended for the job before they actually do. You definitely think, you saw with Mayo at the time, there could be a curveball here. You never know what happens if there's a unanimity. Somebody could say, not having this. You think sometimes maybe that could be the case with Cork as well, but I'm sure come next Tuesday, I think it is, he will be officially rubber stamped. So Cork acting swiftly the same week really that it was confirmed that Pat Ryan wouldn't be seeking another year as Cork manager.
Well, particularly after being rebuffed like that. Like, it wasn't Friday that Pat Ryan was offered the new 3-year term and basically said, no, I just have to step away. And Cork have kind of completely got their ducks in a row. And if Ben O'Connor gets it, like, there was a succession plan in place. Like, who knows what the most exciting team in, I would say, inter-county hurling at the moment in terms of just box office factor, looks like they're going to deliver again.
Yeah, certainly, and somebody who knows what it's like to get the job done as well. Leading them will be no harm whatsoever. You mentioned the Champions League draw.
So, Trent Alexander-Ireland will return to his old club Liverpool, Owen, who've been drawn on to face Real Madrid in the league phase of the Champions League. That draw was made today. So Arne Slot's side will host Los Blancos with home games against Atletico Madrid, PSV Eindhoven and Karabakh, as well as trips to Inter, Eintracht Frankfurt, Marseille and Galatasaray. Arsenal, meanwhile, face tough home games against Bayern Munich, Atletico, Olympiacos and Kairat Almaty, the famous vanquishers of Celtic, with games away at Inter, Club Brugge, Slavia Praga and Athletic Club in Bilbao. Tottenham will take on Borussia Dortmund, PSG, the defending champions, away. Villarreal, Slavia Prague and Copenhagen at home, with away trips again to Eintracht Frankfurt, Bodo Glimt and Monaco. Manchester City have a reunion of sorts with Napoli and Kevin De Bruyne. They will take them on in Italy, as well as games at home in Borussia Dortmund, Bayer Leverkusen. In fact, that Napoli game is at home at the Etihad, so it's a return to the Etihad for Kevin De Bruyne. And Galatasaray are at home, while they will travel to the Bernabeu to take on Real Madrid. They're also away to Villarreal, Bodo Glimt and Monaco. And Newcastle, with their one season away from Champions League, they will be at home to Barcelona, Benfica, PSV Eindhoven and Athletic Club. They are away to PSG, Bayer Leverkusen, Marseille and Union Saint-Gilloise of Belgium. And finally, Chelsea. They have... Now, I thought this was maybe the pick of the draws in terms of good omens, but you disagreed. So it's Barcelona at home, Benfica at home, Ajax at home and Paphos of Cyprus at home. And then away trips to Bayern Munich, Atalanta, Napoli, and Karabakh away. So, like, there's a lot of travel there.
Yeah.
I think Chelsea have a pretty handy, if you're like, what was it? It was 4 games last year you needed to win to get through to, like, the playoff. Not the top 8, but, like, the playoff round.
Yeah.
Like, there's 4 wins there easily.
Yeah, like, it's also not just about winning and, like, getting through. It's about where you finish. So they have to go to the German champions. They have to go to the Italian champions. They have one of the most exciting teams in world football in Barcelona at home. They have Benfica at home, not a gimme, and then they have to travel to Atalanta. So for them to get into the upper echelons and to get into that top 4, top 8 obviously is what you want, but top 4 for the seeding. I'm not sure it's as straightforward as maybe you might think. You've also got, like, a couple of nice different storylines there, like that Paphos club that you mentioned. David Luiz plays for them, and of course Antonio Conte looks after Napoli, so a couple of reunions there for Chelsea. The Trent Alexander-Arnold thing, though, was the big one. I mean, everybody expected this. It was obviously going to happen that Real Madrid were going to be up against Liverpool.
Yeah, it could only go one way, couldn't it?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So that is the Champions League draw. What's next? You're sticking with football?
Yes, the under-21 squad was announced today by Jim Crawford. Liverpool winger Trent Coney-Doherty and Shamrock Rovers striker Michael Noonan have been given their first call-ups. 2 of 5 debutants in the squad. So Southampton's Romeo Akachukwu, Derby County's Freddie Turley and Hull City's Cathal McCarthy are the other 3. The team, of course, face Moldova and Andorra in a pair of European Championship qualifiers next month.
What's next?
Well, Joe Murphy has been confirmed as the new Carlow senior football manager for 2026. The Era clubman will take charge on a 3-year term, succeeding Shane Curran as permanent boss. Murphy had been in interim charge of the side since Curran had dramatically stepped down following their Allianz League campaign earlier this year. He was ratified by the county board last night.
Okay, so he's not being recommended before ratification. He's actually got the ratified stamp. On to tennis.
Yeah, more second round action at Flushing Meadows today. So Russian 15 seed Andrei Rublev currently leads by 2-1 against the unseeded American Tristan Boye, while 10th seed Lorenzo Mazzetti saw off Belgian David Goffin in straight sets. Later on, Arthur Ashe, men's world number 1 and defending champion Yannick Sinner is up against Alexei Popyrin, while reigning Wimbledon champion Iga Swiatek needed 3 sets to see off Suzanne Lemmens of the Netherlands earlier, while 23rd seed Naomi Osaka is currently in action against the American Hailey Baptiste.
Our attention now turns to the second game for Ireland in the Women's Rugby World Cup.
Yeah, and Ireland centre Eve Higgins says they're targeting a big performance against Spain in that game. So a win in Franklin's Gardens this weekend will seal their place in the quarterfinals with a game to spare. Head coach Scott Beamond will name his team for that Pool C clash tomorrow. The big one in that pool, of course, is the final game against New Zealand in a week's time. But Higgins maintains that they'll want to win all of their pool games this time around.
I suppose, especially with the World Cup, you kind of view every game in a sense like you don't want to go into a game not wanting to win a game, you know. So no, it's definitely the goal going into every game is to win it, and we've been very much focusing on one game at a time. So to get past Japan and to win that game is great, but to now focus everything on Spain, you know, we're not looking ahead at New Zealand next week. You know, everything is about Spain this week, and we want to go in and get a performance again.
A couple of other stories to round us up on, Cameron.
Yeah, Leona Maguire 6 shots off the lead following her opening round at the FM Championship on the LPGA Tour today. So the Cavan golfer carding 71 in Massachusetts with Se-Young Kim of Korea, the clubhouse leader, on 7 under. Stephanie Meadow carded an opening round 75 to sit on 3 over. You have athletics today, so Sarah Healy finished 8th in the 1500 metres final at the Diamond League finals in Zurich this evening. The Monkstown runner finished in 3 minutes 59.9 seconds, more than 2.5 seconds off her season and personal best as she prepares for the Worlds in Tokyo next month. And Thurles Racecourse will reopen, with racing set to continue until at least March of next year. So the Tipperary track announced earlier this month that it would be closing with an immediate effect, but that seems to have, they've done a U-turn on that now. In a statement today, Horse Racing Ireland confirmed the reopening of the racecourse, saying the body will assume operational responsibility. So good news there.
Okay, Cameron, thank you for tonight's newsround. We're going to take a quick break and catch up with Dennis Walsh, and he's going to tell us why Ben O'Connor has been appointed as the new Cork hurling manager, or set to be appointed at the very least. Remember, full live match commentary from Tallaght Stadium coming from 8 o'clock. It's going to be Shamrock Rovers versus Santa Clara. Nathan and Vinny will be calling that. Quick break.
The Newsround on Off the Ball.
With UPMC Sports Surgery Clinic. When things don't move, rotate or bend like they used to, choose us to help you get back in action.
This is News Talk. News Talk Green Business Person of the Month in association with Repack is your chance to showcase the brilliance of your colleagues, friends or even yourself. Join me, Joe Lynham, on Breakfast Business weekday mornings from 6:30 to learn about the best in green business.
With Repack, supporting the circular economy and reducing the impact of packaging on the environment.
Nominate the next Green Business Person of the Month by going to newstalk.com/green.
I'm Joanna Gardner, founder of Elave Skincare. We asked our customers about sensitive skin.
Sensitive skin affects how you feel.
Itchy.
Annoying.
Really annoying.
We don't tend to openly talk about it.
Elave products changed my life.
I love what it's done for me.
Oh, it's a huge thing for a parent.
My boyfriend Cian started using Elave.
It's an absolute godsend.
I know it's going to protect me, give me the moisture, give me the balance.
Sensitive skin? Elave. Happy skin. ElaveSkincare.com.
This season with Sky Sports and Sports Extra, you can watch every live Premier League match, the biggest European competitions, and much more.
That is unbelievable.
So that's every... and every... That's Sky Sports, Premier Sports and TNT Sports.